Welcome back, everybody, to Kusog7ande, the Bad Video Game Tournament. We are going back to a round in the losers bracket, round 5, specifically the Phantom of the Crapera. You know, we have people doing things a little bit out of order when it comes to matches, and that's completely fine. You know, we're just whittling down the bracket until we have a final victor, both in the winners and losers bracket, and then those two will face each other. That said, let's go ahead and find out what kind of scary game we've got coming up for you. The Phantom of the Phantom of the Crapper. You know what, Crappy? You're scary. Go take us over, and we'll find out what we've got. So this round is focusing on games that have some sort of scary theme to them. Last one, Rocky Horror. You know, you might argue that really isn't a scary movie, but it's got horror in the name, so I figure the game fit. Let's find out who the GM is. Say hello to the person giving out the game, our friend Ado Wolf. Ado Wolf? Hey, Ado Wolf. Oh, hello there. Time Snulf still.
Oh.
We got Snulf. Oh my gosh, hello there. Ado Wolf, how you doing?
I am doing pretty great. The most anticipated game of all time just came out.
Which was
Snulfmania, of course.
Oh my gosh, I didn't know that. So you've been playing that?
I played it a bunch last night and managed to find that after a certain point it was unbeatable.
Okay.
But that's been patched now, and I haven't played the new patched version yet. So that's gonna be fun for after this.
That makes me so happy. I might.
Yeah, and then I get a long weekend this weekend, and just gonna be good.
Oh my gosh, that's great. Yeah, everybody, we've got this match today. Tomorrow night, we were going to have a match at midnight, but as it turns out, that has been canceled. So this is our last Kusog7ande match of the weekend, probably, but I'll try to be back tomorrow with some streams, either here or on YouTube. I'll let people know.
Well, now you just put all the pressure on me.
Yeah, you better give us something fun.
No, fun is hard, but I can give you something incredible.
Okay, well, what do we have?
We have... Oh, goodness, I need to make sure I actually say this name right. 1 second. We have The Simpsons, Night of the Living Treehouse of Horror for Game Boy Color.
Now, this is kind of a Kuso classic. We've had certain stages show up occasionally in the bracket. Or not in the bracket, in various gauntlets that we've had. You know, is a game of dubious quality, but also I find this kind of charming. The players are going to have 1 hour to try to make as much progress as they can through this game, and luckily it's linear enough that they should be able to figure it out. With that said, like, what gave you the motivation to choose this game? What were you thinking? What were your thoughts here?
What were my thoughts? Well, my thoughts were like, I need to find some spooky games, and I found the spooky game and it was untrackable, and then we found another spooky game and it was also untrackable, and then I found this just sort of sitting in my ROM directory. I'm like, when was the last time this was on Kusog7ande? And it turns out it's been years, so it was time to fix that.
It really has been years, yeah. And like, there's something to be said about seeing various portions of the game in gauntlets, but also being able to see the whole thing. I doubt that the players are going to beat it, but they may make a decent amount of progress, and we're going to see them duke it out.
Yes, we will.
Yeah, we've got Captain Drake versus J-Hit today. One of these players will be eliminated because of The Simpsons, or because of Ado Wolf, however you want to see it.
I will take credit for all the murders I can, thank you very much.
Oh no. Not murder.
They'll live, it's fine.
Oh, okay, good. Well, in that case, yay murder. Yay, non-deadly murder. I don't know. What am I cheering for here? I don't even know anymore. I actually really enjoy the Simpsons horror episodes. Those were always a lot of fun for me. Did you watch many of them when you were younger? Did you watch any of them?
So, There was one of them that gave me nightmares, and then my mother wouldn't let me watch any more of the Treehouse of Horror episode.
They gave you nightmares? DeWolf,
So
that
there's
is so
one of them
cute.
where the house like collapses in on itself and like into a black hole, and that just completely messed with Kid DeWolf so much.
Are you talking about, is that the one where Homer goes into 3D land?
Yes, that is the one.
I liked that quite a bit, but I didn't think that it was an outstanding one. I thought there was so much potential, and it was okay. I do like the one where they keep, like, throwing the children into blenders and eating them for school lunch. That one was good.
Yeah, the Soylent Green parody was fantastic. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Just
parody of The Fly, like, so many good ones.
But yeah, someone in chat brought up the recent Death Note one. That was also really good. As an anime fan, I'm not sure. Like, I feel like if you weren't an anime fan, you would have just been confused. But as an anime fan, that was just chef's kiss.
That was chef's kiss. Yeah, we heard it here, everybody.
Say that word, apparently.
It's okay. If you're not a chef, you can say it wrong. You're allowed.
I don't think that's how it works.
I think that's how it works. I don't know. It's been a while since I've done anything chef-related in my life.
So, Chiron, you say that everyone knows Death Note. I can tell you for a fact that my parents don't know Death Note and asked me what the heck was going on in that episode. So, I'm going to slightly disagree with you there.
I love it. Like, anime is relatively popular, but at the same time, there are still plenty of people who just are not going to get the references. So the big question, like, for me, since I'm very much into writing, I got a master's degree in it. Does the episode stand on its own, or do you need the context? Because if you need the context, maybe it's not quite the best version.
A lot of the jokes needed the context. Like, they make it. I think they made a joke about how it's about Note, or not being called Note, or something like that. And like, you're not gonna like the fact that Note doesn't even mean what it means in Death Note in English. Like, that's just a fun little.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe that just confuses everyone who watches the anime as well. For all I know.
I don't know. Yeah, I'd say that, like, if there's just one joke that goes over people's head, it's fine. But if it's like every joke that goes over people's head, unless they know Death Note, then that's not a good use of a parody. I'm still not hearing Captain Drake's audio, by the way.
I am not hearing anything from their stream either. Now I am. There we go.
Yeah, audio capture got deleted somehow. I believe that. Also, the name is so long that OBS doesn't like it.
Just call it Treehouse of Horror.
No, I can put an enter in there. I just have to change this real quick. It's not Willy Wonka. There, you can actually see what the title is a little bit. Night of Living, Treehouse of Horror, blah blah blah.
Oh, that's what you meant. I thought you meant like the stream title.
Oh, no. We can go ahead and change it, though, here in the...
You have the technology.
Night of the Living... Oh my gosh, this music.
I love it. It's so good. I don't know why anyone would ever complain about it.
It could be worse, I guess.
I
Not
mean, it's
much
no Crazy
worse.
Bus, don't get me wrong. I do love all the fun nicknames they come up with for the
That's always
Treehouse
fun.
of Horror episodes.
So, chat, I do need you to get ready to spam some emotes. What would be good emotes for chat to spam?
I mean, if you have any Simpsons emotes, those would be like Bart Pig. Can't go wrong with Bart Pig.
You can never
in
go
addition,
wrong with Bart Pig.
Like any slingshot, any batteries, any flies, any vacuum cleaners. Yeah, vacuum cleaners. Spam your vacuum
and
cleaner
Bart
emotes.
Pig, obviously.
Chat.
Here we go! We're doing the countdown! Wish them the best of luck, spam your stuff, please! Spam your emotes, okay? We're doing the countdown! Best of luck to the players! They have 1 hour! Oh my gosh. As soon as I see movement in the first stage, I will start our timer.
And they are off.
Indeed, they are. Of course, there's a little bit of a delay with J-Hit getting started, so if for some reason things were extremely close, we would take that into account. But J-Hit is also reading the instructions before jumping into the level, which could be helpful.
Yeah, so for this stage, they are trying to explore the house to find four circuits, I should say, to plug in to the circuit breaker thingy, so that they can turn on the lights so they can defeat an evil broom.
I don't
that's
like
just
this
the
music.
normal day in the life. It looks like Captain Drake already found the first breaker and put it into the box. And yeah, so there's two right here in the basement right next to it. The other two are much better hidden. There's keys as well. It's good, nice, exploratory stage. Probably the most normal stage in the entire game.
Yeah.
Isn't it true? It's the most normal stage we're going to see today. Let's put it that way.
I mean, it's relatively normal. It's understandable what you're supposed to do, and it's a traditional platformer. There are much stranger levels coming up, because guess what? Whenever you have a compilation of different episodes in a single game, why not have each episode follow its own rules?
I mean, well, you have limited developer resources, and therefore each of those modes is going to probably play worse than if you just had one mode that you did really well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a bad reason. Just do whatever you want. Anyways, I don't hear the sound crimes. Okay, so I'm in a video game music group, and recently someone shared, like, Animorphs music, and it sounded wrong to me. And I listened to it for a while, and I finally figured out what sounded wrong to me. It was that the rip that they had of the music had no lag. And I've never heard Animorphs, the Game Boy game, made famous by Kusog7ande. I've never heard that game not lag. The music all sounded horribly wrong to me. It played at a constant rhythm.
Yeah,
and that's what we're getting here. It's just lag. Your music's lagging. This is fine.
It's not lagging. This is at a very constant rate. It's just that some of the notes here, unfortunately, have a little bit of, what do I say, a longer attack. It's a longer attack in order to get the note to come in, and that delay in there adds a little bit of sort of the ghosty feel to it, but it doesn't sound great.
I don't know, it sounds to me like the game is like just constantly at like 50 frames per second instead of 60. Wait, GameSpot gave this a 7.8?
I mean, honestly,
wow.
If you are a Simpsons fan wanting to play a Simpsons game on a Game Boy, this might be the best option. I mean, there's Camp Deadly, which might be a little bit better, but
is there no Chinese bootleg Simpsons game?
I don't think they watch The Simpsons over in China.
That's a good...
I mean...
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, like... It's something that a lot of comedy games that were made didn't really get outside of the country or area that they were made in. Things that were based off of comic strips were usually very much a specific location. And Simpsons, even though they're widely known across the world now, this came out in an era where it still wasn't worldwide, I'd say. At least not as wide as it became. Especially after the Simpsons movie came out.
Was the Simpsons movie actually the catalyst?
I don't know if that was the catalyst, but it was actually a good movie, and I think that it was, like, a lot bigger than anyone expected it to be. I still haven't seen it.
It's good. It's good. But like, I don't know, just so many people cite that as like the last good Simpsons thing. And I think they're being a little over the top when people say that, but a lot of people do say that. And so for that to be what made it more popular nationally is kind of interesting.
Yeah, I can't, like, after Conan O'Brien stopped writing for The Simpsons, I haven't really cared for it. Yeah, he, like, absolutely pioneered the kind of humor that it had in cartoons. Like, and I'd say that it lost a lot of what made it enjoyable. But at the same time, you know, how do you keep one-upping a genre? How do you keep, like, making something that is kind of unpredictable? And I'm not sure if there's a good solution. Simply put, shows generally don't go on forever. You know?
I mean, it's even worse for Simpsons, right? Because it was originally a parody of sitcoms. And like, sitcoms are not nearly as big as they were 30 years ago. So, like, if the thing you're parodying is no longer really a thing, not something that people regularly watch, like, what do? You just sort of had to go zany, and Simpsons definitely has gone zany.
Yeah, let me go ahead and do the prediction since I forgot. Okay. So, Will, you have 2 minutes, everybody, to fill out a prediction on Twitch if you would like. And I will get that running. Usually one of our friends, Hedge Maze, is the one who does that, but she is currently with some mermaids and is occupied.
Specifically gay mermaids, I'm told.
That's what I was told, yeah. Which I'm cool with. I think that's great.
I'm not going to tell mermaids who they can't love during Pride Week. Or Pride Month,
yeah,
whatever.
You saw how that went for
King
King Triton. He got turned into an ugly little thing. Look, I don't even know what it was, like an anemone? Yeah, King Triton, that's what you get.
Is it in the new movie, or you mean the old movie?
The old movie. He turned it, like, what did he turn into? What did Ursula turn him into? Gross.
So I don't like to remember that well things that aren't in either songs or in Kingdom Hearts. It's been a while since I've actually watched the movie itself.
I think it's in Kingdom Hearts. Come on. I remember swimming over the gross, like, group of people who had been transformed into sucky things.
I mostly just remember playing rhythm minigames in 2 at this point.
I mean, then again, Kingdom Hearts 2, you got to sing.
Oh, I enjoyed that
fun.
Out of that.
You like Finny Fun?
Look, just because it's just because it's a low-tier rhythm game doesn't mean it's not a good fun rhythm game.
Hey, everybody, Dolph wants to have some Finny Fun with you.
I will have whatever kind of fun people want to have. Okay, I won't force people, but if they want to have Finny Fun, I'll join them in the fun that is Finny. I think that is the 4th circuit for Captain Drake right there.
Yeah,
just as a plug them in.
The easiest way for me to keep track is like the number of keys that they have, but the circuits.
Yeah,
what is it? The number at the bottom right?
Keys.
That's the circus per se.
Yep. I think though it's the number that they plugged in. Remain to be plugged in the bottom right.
Okay, gotcha. Cool.
So yeah, there is one last gold key.
J-Hit has it. Very nice.
Yep. So, looks like Captain Drake well, I think Captain Drake was in that room and just missed the key entirely.
I think you may be right. A little bit surprising, but at the same time, we have a full hour to go through this. Usually, now that predictions are done, Captain Drake has been extremely great when it comes to Kusog7ande. This is his first year, but he has absolutely shown that he deserves to be here. I mean, he's an expert when it comes to Mystery Tournament and has brought a lot of that skill over here. And, you know, has just been dominating. Even though Captain Drake is in the losers bracket, you know, everybody loses every once in a while. That happens.
Yeah, only up to one person cannot lose. And so...
Oh my gosh.
Okay, with 2 lives left on both sides. That is the last breaker for J-Hit. So J-Hit just has to go plug that in. And then, yeah, so earlier in this match, you saw at least one of the players, maybe both of the players, go into a room with the lights off, and there was a broom. You cannot kill that broom while the lights are off for some reason.
Well, duh.
That's how evil brooms work. You can only hit them in the light. So that's why we gotta turn the power on. Clearly, I don't know. I can't justify this game.
I mean, look, you have to fix the circuits in order to turn the power on, okay? If a circuit breaks, and it's essential for, like, I'm kind of surprised that it takes 4 fuses for a single light switch, but, you know, maybe this house is really poorly wired.
Or maybe Bart just doesn't understand that you can just, like, try different spots on the, you just try different ones and flick the light switch and see if it works.
He's canonically really dumb. Like, really, really dumb, so that makes sense. It's... Oh, yeah. Okay, there we go. Captain Drake taking on the broom. That broom dealing a little bit of damage. I mean, it's part of... It's in his genes.
He's wearing shorts.
Shut up. Okay, Captain Drake has killed the broom, and now it's just time to get to the exit, I believe. I don't know where it is, but...
I forget what you
I
have
think
to do.
it's in the
I thought you just
top
had to
left
wait
or
for
something.
Time, but maybe there is something you actually have to do to exit the stage. If so, I am completely blanking on what that is.
I think it's going to the top left here. Yep.
Oh. Cool, we found Santa's little helper. Let's go.
Apparently it hasn't been too long for me. Haha! Oh, this is good music. Now you get to play Maggie as a bug.
Meanwhile, J-Hit is right behind. Needs, I think, one more hit on that. There we go. Both players already making it. Well, soon we'll make it to the fly stage.
Okay, this music's pretty okay. By the way, if people are wondering what the levels are based off of, the first one is based off of, I have no idea, Bart rescuing Santa's little helper in a haunted house. I'm not sure if that was an episode. Let me see if there's any information elsewhere.
I can't think of it either, yeah. Nice password.
Okay.
They are allowed to use passwords to load if need be. But that is definitely a special password. Pro tip to players, your print screen button will do this much faster, or if you're on Windows, you just press Start, Shift, S. So much faster than writing it down.
By the way, J-Hit did see the password and definitely took a little bit of time to look at it. I don't know about Captain Drake. That could come back to bite him in the butt. Remember, everybody, passwords are very important. Oh my gosh, I saw the Japanese Homer logo from the episode where he discovers his face in the dump. Good episode.
I'm trying to figure out what it says. Like, Hafu Wat Phone?
It's Mr. Sparkle.
It doesn't say Mr. Sparkle.
You just have to know.
but Kana. There's Kana.
I don't know.
So the first stage was named Bad Dream House, which is the same title as the haunted house episode that scared me as a child.
Ooh,
Nice.
Very
Thank
nice.
you, Pat-Man.
I'm looking, and apparently it was supposed to be a parody of the Amityville Horror. Have you ever seen that movie?
No, I don't really watch much horror stuff.
It is so cheesy. Like, I love going and watching old horror because a lot of it was, like, scary at the time, but has not aged well, and that is one of them. I'm trying to remember if it's that one or Pet Cemetery. Maybe it was Pet Cemetery that had the funniest ending, where there was just, like, an undead child yelling, "It's no fair! It's no fair!" And it's like, oh, you stupid dead child, stop it. Shut up. Amityville Horror, like, the whole thing is that it was supposed to be based off of a real haunting that happened, but there were so many scams about it. It was a good way for the people owning the house to make money.
I thought, like, every single horror film just claims to be based on a true story. Like, I thought that was just a rule.
Yeah, like The Ring, absolutely a true story.
The Exorcist. I mean, you've been to exorcisms. You know this better than me.
I have done mild exorcisms, like not where there were like any very apparent demons, but like I know how to exorcise people, at least per Mormon lore. And even though they say that technically I can't because I'm not Mormon anymore, who are you to take away the power of God?
I mean,
Yeah.
as a Catholic, I'm definitely not going to agree that Mormons don't have a monopoly over exorcisms.
I'll say that Catholic exorcisms are a lot more intense.
So my only knowledge of exorcisms is from movies, and I have no idea how realistic they are.
Some of them are somewhat accurate, but at the same time, it was usually not with people who were quote-unquote possessed, but people who either really wanted attention or had some other problems that probably a mental health specialist would have really helped with. And yeah, exorcisms have a pretty bad history. But with that said, we don't have to deal with that now. We have to deal with Maggie turning into a fly, which doesn't happen very often in real life as well.
Also a thing that I've never had happen to me. I've never been in an exorcism, and I've never been turned into a fly. I'm just missing out on all the cool things in life. Yeah.
Yeah.
So J-Hit did get the third chip thing. I don't know it. I think it's supposed to be a computer chip, but he did find it first. But it looks like Captain Drake has caught up. But so you have these switches to turn stuff off and on, and yeah, just neither player really figuring out exactly what they are supposed to do.
Yeah. By the way, I think that this level is technically a little bit based off of the episode where Bart turns into a fly, but they already had a level with Bart, so you gotta have a level with Maggie instead. And honestly, she makes a cuter fly than Bart did.
I thought she turned into a fly in the episode where, like, they all turn into animals.
Really?
Maybe, I don't know. It's been a while since I've seen that episode.
I have no idea.
Like, all I remember is that, like, Homer's the last person left at the end, and he's just like, all turn into animals who just eat and sleep and have sex, and eat and sleep and have sex, and where do I sign up? All I remember of that episode was that last line.
Oh, I did have a time where people thought that I was possessed, but that was because I just talked in my sleep a lot, and the guy who claimed that I was possessed, I kind of hate him. So
I really thought you were going to say because you were gay.
Well, no.
I really thought that's where that was going.
No, not because I'm gay. Because he's like, you sat up in the middle of the night and were like saying swears and stuff, and I'm like, there were people who told me that I spoke better Portuguese in my sleep than when I was awake, so that was cool.
Nice.
However, yeah, now that I have a CPAP as well as pills that help me sleep, I don't talk in my sleep. But yeah, it was pretty much a nightly occurrence that I just talk all night. Hey, as it turns out, I really like to talk, Wolf.
You don't say.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did Captain Drake make it out? Captain Drake did make it out.
And we are on to the third level where everybody has turned into zombies. I don't remember what this one is called, but
and Marge has a really big gun.
I've actually got a guide up so I can go and find this. Plan 9 from Outer Springfield. I wonder what that could be based off of.
I mean, it could be anything.
No.
Any zombie flick.
I have a feeling that it's a very specific Ed Wood film. But that's besides the point. The point. My gosh. So
yeah, so there's like I think 3 boss fights. This first one against Apu, pretty simple.
Yeah,
because you can actually dodge attacks and then hit him back. The second boss fight's a real tough one because it's Bo in the sewers popping out of the sewer grates. So you're trying to play whack-a-mole, and he is not there long enough to really react. And meanwhile, his baseballs are pretty darn accurate. And Yeah, you just don't have time to react or predict.
Yeah,
so that'll be fun.
I'm glad that Apu did have the split shot that as long as you just moved to the middle and were like confident that you were going to be able to dodge it, that was good. Oh my gosh, Mo, stop it. Mo. No, Mo. No, Mo.
Look, Captain Drake's found a safe spot. This isn't a bad strategy. Just wait for Mo to pop up in front of that crate. But Mo is just not spawning in the crate that, Oh, there we go. Oh, okay, got one hit.
I'm just thinking of the fly level that J-Hit is playing right now. J-Hit's a little bit behind, but really not that far. This game, I can't remember if there are limited continues, but I feel like there may be, and while there are passwords, I think they may have to go and enter the passwords. At the same time, there's a real possibility that we could see a clear of this game. It's not the longest game in the world.
It's not, and I mean, I did not expect us to be on Barge's stage 20 minutes in. So
I know, right? But that's Captain Drake for you. Like, you never really know. J-Hit has been amazing as well, making it this far into the tournament, but against Captain Drake?
He just is not finding the exit to this maze. Oh, no, that was not the exit.
Come on, you useless fool, try harder. That's not very nice. Don't call Maggie a useless fool.
And Marge a useless fool. Wow.
They're both useless fools. That's just life.
It's like this person only knows one insult.
Who's the person? Who's the commentator? Who's calling?
I'm the commentator, but I didn't say that.
I'm just a common potato.
Potatoes.
Potatoes are pretty great, gotta be honest.
I mean, you can boil them, mash them, put them in a stew.
I know. I knew it. I knew it.
I had to. You set it up too well. I had to.
What's taters, precious? My name is Gollum, and I've got my own video game now. Is it ever going to be on Kusog7ande? Maybe. I don't know.
Wait, what? Golem has his own game now?
Do you not know about the Gollum video game?
I did not. Please
oh my
tell
gosh.
me
Oh my gosh.
You need to share this with me.
You should go watch the video game Donkey video about Gollum, because that is the best way to experience it, in my opinion.
I mean, this sounds completely reasonable.
Okay. Yeah, it's not good. It's very bad, and like when it was announced, people were like, "This is a stupid idea," and then when it came out, they're like, "This is a stupid idea," and it looks a lot worse than when you announced it.
I mean, there's been so many new Lord of the Rings properties in like the past year. It's kind of ridiculous at this point. Like,
I'm pretty sure that's another one that earned the public apology from the development company.
Many of these properties are good. Oh, I forgot about the Skinner boss. Nice.
Oh my gosh.
There's a fourth boss.
Throwing books? Stop it! Go back to school, nerd!
I feel like a nerd is like the kid, not the principal.
I feel like you have to be a nerd to be a principal.
Okay, I'll allow it.
Vice principal? No, you can just be a jerk. Like, for me, it was always the vice principals that were, like, the worst people, and then the principal's like, "Hey, everybody, I'm kind of cool. I'll just let my vice principal do all of the, like, rule enforcement, and then I'll be the cool person."
Huh. Yeah, that was definitely... I don't know, I like some of my vice principals in high... Well, I didn't have any vice principals until high school, but once they existed, I liked them.
Nah.
I don't know.
They were always the worst.
Was that the one that people had disciplined, so...
Yeah, I never got disciplined. I think I might have gone to the principal's office maybe once, but that was probably, like, not for punishment.
Aww. Was it a reward for being really good?
It may have been a reward, which, for a nerd like me, yeah, going and talking to another nerd, that's how you do it. Captain Drake is through onto the next level. Vlad all over. Oh my gosh.
And meanwhile, J-Hit is also through onto the third stage. But yeah, already in... So I barely remember this stage.
We're gonna be here for a while.
Probably. Yeah, I don't remember what you're supposed to do in this stage besides, I mean, like, you have a slingshot for some reason, and you're Homer. Or, no, that's a crossbow? Okay, I realize crossbows have less range than longbows, but, like, that crossbow is less range than the slingshot did in stage 1, I'm pretty sure. This is unacceptable amounts of range.
So, apparently this character, or this level is based off of the idea there was a previous, I think, ancestor for Mr. Burns named Vlad Burns, obviously named after Vlad the Impaler, thought to be one of the original vampires in history. If you follow vampire lore that much, Vlad
So
the
this-
Impaler
so
wasn't the
pre-post
nicest guy in the
vampires.
world.
So he sparkles is what I'm hearing here.
Absolutely.
Excellent.
Yeah,
Also, I'm sorry. This is the part where the music actually sounds bad to me. So I now have to take back everything I said about the music in this game being fine. Absolutely everything.
this is actually... Nah, this is better than level 1's music, I'd say.
Huh. Yeah, no, I definitely prefer level 1 to this.
Well, you're weird, it's fine.
You can't just call me weird.
I just did!
I can call myself weird.
I can call
call
anybody
you
weird.
weird.
Oh, come on. Like, looking at the person who did the music for this, they were the audio manager for, like, all of the Lego games. Like, so many of them.
The Lego games had good music. I
Yeah.
thought.
Well, I mean, considering that they were based off of established IPs, and maybe were mostly just taking the music that was already out. Yeah, they had good music. I mean, Lord of the Rings, yeah, I think they took music from the Lord of the Rings movies.
Oh, you said Legos.
Lego
like
Lord of the
Lord of the-
Rings. Duh.
Oh, I was thinking like Lego
Oh,
Rock
wow, I'm rude.
Raiders and Lego Racers and Lego Island.
I mean, Lego City Undercover, yeah.
Ooh, I never played that one. Is it
Lego
bad?
Rock Band. No, Lego City Undercover is actually pretty fun.
Oh, okay. Is it like GTA for kids?
Sort of. Yeah,
Interesting.
I think. I mean, but you're a cop, so.
So anti-GTA for kids.
So it's like the opposite of GTA for kids. Yeah, you're stopping the crimes. I guess they did Lego Jurassic World and Lego Star Wars. Yeah, for Lego Star Wars, it's not that hard. You go and find a copy of music that you can use, and then you put it in the game.
Yeah, J-Hit passed Grover with all 4 lives. I think this is going to be just one and done for J-Hit on this stage at this rate.
I think you may be right. J-Hit is doing very well.
Terrifying amounts of progress from both of them.
I mean, this is the horror-themed game, so that makes sense. But honestly, at the same time, you know, Kusog7ande, even though we started with 2-hour matches, there were matches that were over in 20 minutes back in the original tournament. I am completely fine with some matches ending early because somebody just completed the game. And that very well could happen here.
Oh, let's not counter chickens before they hatch.
But, I mean, how many levels are there? 5, 6, 7? I see 7 levels.
There's at least
and
5. Oh, there's 7?
yes.
So I've never beaten this game, so I don't know the total number of levels. I've made it to Homer's stage, and then I was so proud of myself I just kind of stopped. Because Marge's stage is really hard. Ignore how easy they're making it look. It's really hard.
It's very hard. Having sort of a top-down shooter.
I wanted to quit when I was
in.
on top, and I figured I wasn't going to be more on top than beating Marge's stage.
Like, I did it. Take that, Marge. I mean, take that,
Exactly.
everybody who's trying to kill Marge. Yeah, also, I'm sorry if I was rude, Doe Wolf. I'm just getting really into this match.
You're not rude. I'm rude. My work is rude. Okay, I need to actually
Your
ask
work
your
is
opinion on
rude?
this. So, for Pride Month, they have like a table set up in the cafeteria with bowls of fruit on it. is that insulting? Because like if I were gay and I just came to work and every day there was a fruit on my desk, I figured that's someone being very passive aggressive.
Like,
but like just a random bowl of fruit next to a table that's set up saying Happy Pride Month, like, feels weird.
do
I
they
don't know
give
if it's
bowls of
bad.
fruit on other months?
No, this is just for Pride Month.
And is it every day?
Well, there is fruit. It's just like there's just a bowl of fruit every day
What
next
kind
to
of-
a table saying Happy Pride.
Like, what kind of fruit is it?
I don't know, like hand fruits, apples, oranges, pears.
I'm gonna go ahead and say that I'm offended and I would totally eat that fruit.
Good answer.
And I would say that, like, whoever in upper management approved this, oh my gosh. But at the same time, at least you're trying. You just really did it wrong. Unless the person who gave the okay is LGBT, in which case, fine. Whatever. But I'm very interested in, like, knowing who approved that because...
I mean, they might have been LGBT, but like, but also like, I don't. So fruit is an insult. Like I've only heard fruit used to describe gay people, though.
Yeah, when you call somebody
well.
fruity and then you give fruit for an LGBT month.
But then you also have like, there's so many terms that people just try to reclaim these days, and for better or for worse.
Well, that's
so
because
I
you
don't
can
know.
call yourself fruity. Like, sure, maybe I'm Fruity Pebbles. Sure, whatever. You, like, somebody who's not within the community can't say that. That's an insult. But if you're within the community and such, you can get away with it a little bit more. But yeah, I would say, like, as a form of reclaiming something, people who are not in the LGBT community are not the ones who get to say whether or not something is reclaimable.
Oh no, so J-Hit made it past Skinner and went to get the donut and just got completely blocked by a zombie and now has no help going into Krusty. Oh no.
Ooh,
And,
but
yeah,
that's okay. No, big deal. You die once, you get to fight Krusty some
There's a
more.
checkpoint here. We're good.
Yeah.
Everything is okay. I panicked prematurely.
So,
Captain Drake must have taken a game over, I think.
wait, somebody in chat didn't know about fruity being an insult? What? I feel like
mean,
that's one of the more common ones.
It was when we were growing up. I barely hear it as an insult these days.
Then again,
Like,
I live in Utah, and like, oh my gosh, the number
is
of
fruit still used as an insult in Utah?
Probably.
It's like I
mean,
remember
they
hearing it
definitely
growing up,
use
and I
worse
probably haven't
insults
heard it
here.
I probably haven't heard anyone use it as an insult in 15 years, maybe.
Then again, I think my grandmother asked if my husband was a quote-unquote friend of Dorothy. And that is what people used to say in order to, like, ask if somebody was gay.
Okay, that I have never heard.
It's old people slang. Okay,
is very
like, not
strange.
even boomer, that was definitely, like, golden generation thing, and it wasn't necessarily used as an insult either. It was just a way to, like, ask if somebody was gay without asking directly, you know?
Oh no, that is a game over for J-Hit, and that is back to the beginning of the stage.
That's alright, though. J-Hit has passwords, and we know that J-Hit has been writing them down. Captain Drake is making a lot of fast progress, but I really hope he's not skipping over the passwords, because if he is, that could be dangerous. But it might not even matter. Like, if Captain Drake just keeps going at this rate, we could maybe see a game completion. Yeah.
I mean, it's very possible, yep.
Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and say you should eat all of the fruit. The end.
I mean, fruit are wonderful, don't get me wrong. But yeah. Oh no, I've interrupted Bro, and now Bro is sulking.
I'm salty?
Sorry.
No, I was eating noodles.
You can't talk about eating fruit and then start eating noodles. I feel like that's...
Noodles are not a fruit.
Yeah, exactly. So I feel like this is just, what's the word? false representation?
I'm allowed to eat a noodle!
Well, what if you had fruity noodles?
Ew, gross. Now, this is yakisoba. It's sort of spicy beef.
Ooh, yakisoba. Spicy yakisoba.
Yeah, this is like one of the sort of cheap store, like essentially like going and buying cheap ramen, except that these yakisoba things that are like $1 each, they're so much better than any of the ramen that you can get. These actually have flavor.
Are they all still horribly salty?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's my problem with American Cup ramen. There's just so much salt.
Yeah,
It's all you can taste.
honestly, I don't really, like, after living in Brazil for a couple years, like, it took me a long time to get used to American food again. American food is kind of vile. But I'm used to it again. It's fine. And salt, like...
Oh, are we against the boss?
This is a boss. So, how do you kill Burns? Do you know?
No, I've never beaten this stage, and it looks like Captain Drake hasn't figured it out either.
Well, everybody, as it turns out, vampires have certain weaknesses, and it's me. They love me. Ha. Hey, all you cutie vampire. Well, I'm basically a vampire. Like, I have to take iron pills, and I still, like, I've been taking iron pills for, what, 2, maybe 3 years straight, and I still, like, am technically a little bit low on iron whenever I get blood tests. So, like...
It's not that unusual needing iron.
Yeah, but even after, like, a few years, I'm still a tiny bit iron deficient. And, oh, there we go. Captain Drake has figured out that you can sort of do that.
You, like, waterfall on top of him or something?
It's light.
Oh, light. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense than holy waterfall.
I mean...
Are we sure it's not a holy waterfall? Are we sure? The holy water waterfalls sound pretty awesome.
I mean, I think it's supposed to be light, but at the same time... Oh.
I mean... You're probably objectively correct. But that's no fun.
Like,
I can't just agree with you.
Game FAQ says that it's light. So, do we want to trust them?
I would never trust GameFAQs.
Same. Okay, well, there we go. Captain Drake is through onto level 5. I think this is the most progress I've ever seen in a Kuso match, and what the crap is this?
So, I guess for a robot now?
This level is called If I Only Have a Body, which is definitely a little bit of a spin-off of If I Only Had a Brain from Wizard of Oz, friend of Dorothy, thank you.
Is that where that expression comes from? Is it just a giant reference?
Yes,
to,
it is. It is a reference to Wizard of Oz, because guess what? She went to a land of beautiful colors. Yeah.
Yeah, but...
Yes, it's a Wizard of Oz reference.
There's a romantic subplot in the movie. Is there one in the book? I've never actually read the book.
I don't think so. It's whatever. They just had to find some way to talk about people without actually talking about them. That's American culture, learning how to say things without actually saying them. At least early 1900s.
I mean, like Utah, sure.
You don't want... No, everywhere. Especially, like, think 1950s, beautiful America. People were still racist, people were still homophobic, but also people wanted to, like, keep up appearances and talk about things without actually saying the
That's not
things.
very beautiful at all. This sounds like the opposite of beautiful. This sounds like J-Hit just made it through to stage 4.
Very
which is amazing
nice,
progress.
very nice. No. Like, 1950s were a special time in America, and definitely a lot about keeping up appearances. So, like, there were a lot of slangs that were not necessarily rude per se, but ways to say things that were sort of talking about an issue without talking about an issue. You know?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With that said, Homer's a robot. Mr. Burns has taken Homer's head and attached it to a robot. Thank you, Game FAQs. I appreciate that information.
I don't remember this episode at all. If this is based on an actual, yeah, an actual episode. Hey, was Judy Garland gay? That would, because that's what someone in chat is saying, and that would also explain it, I guess.
I'm not sure if she was gay, but she could definitely become a gay icon, considering she had a song that was Over the Rainbow.
I guess. Okay. That is a little weird to me, but okay.
Yeah, it's just like, there was the song called I'm Coming Out, and the person who recorded that actually didn't know that that was a phrase used in the game the game community, and she thought that her career was going to end because of it. Diana Ross, that's right. And at first she was like, oh my gosh, everybody now thinks that I'm gay, and everybody thinks that, like, I'm here to rep it. But then she sort of just came to own it and was like, yeah, go ahead and use it as sort of like a gay anthem. It's kind of awesome that way, you know. And she's straight, and that's completely cool that she accidentally had a song that ended up being a strong LGBT anthem. Yeah, so there are a lot of times that, like, people can be icons or idols in some way and not even know it for a while.
I mean, I feel like if they don't know it, then that kind of gets a little creepy. But
yeah, but, like, they learn about it, and then, like, really the response that they have is often telling of their character. And Diana Ross, she's like, yeah, I'll go ahead and be your icon, and I'm gonna go ahead and be a champion for y'all. And she was so cool about it. Judy Garland could have been that way as well. I don't know much history of her, though. I'd have to... That's one piece of American history that I don't know too much about, and maybe I'll have to do a little reading up about it.
Yeah, I don't really know much about any actor at all. But,
oh my gosh, how could you not know?
I mean, there's a lot of things that one can or cannot know. Not knowing is the default state. It's very easy to not know things.
So, as it turns out, there was an episode sort of related to this. In Treehouse of Horror 2, they had the episode If I Only Had a Brain, in which case they found Homer. They thought that he was dead, but I think he was just sleeping because he fell asleep in an open grave, and so they took his brain out and put it in a robot. And then Mr. Smithers convinced them to put Homer's brain back where it came from, but then the robot crushed Mr. Burns, and at the end of the day, both Homer and Mr. Burns ended up sharing a body. They just sewed Mr. Burns' head onto Homer's shoulder, and, you know, that solved the problem.
I remember that ending. I don't remember any of the rest of the episode, but I remember Burns being on Homer's shoulder. I don't know why that stuck with me.
Well, Homer didn't like having Mr. Burns on his shoulder. Can you imagine having your boss's head sewn to your shoulder?
Oh, I can imagine it, and it's awful. On the bright side, I probably see my boss more often than I currently do, so that's a plus.
Is that a plus? I think less is more, you know?
I mean, when I need my boss to do things and it's impossible to contact him,
oh, yes, it's one of those bosses.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, J-Hitch is crossing the ramparts, jumping on top of spears, as you do.
Yeah.
Pretty good distance into the level at this point,
You know,
I think.
I would say that Vlad Burns definitely has a lot of people working for him. Like, do you really need this many people on your castle? I mean, I guess if Fat Homer Simpson is able to infiltrate the castle, then maybe you needed more.
I mean, it's an army. You need, like, at least 10 people to form an army.
You don't need an army!
You don't need an army, but, like, if you have a castle, like, what sort of self-respecting castle doesn't have an army?
I mean, maybe a tiny militia, but honestly, if you are a private citizen, you should not be going and starting your own armies. Lessons from the 1800s here in Utah and Missouri, and yeah, just don't do it.
But what if it's like a private military corporation?
I don't like it.
Probably a good stance to have, yeah.
Yeah, don't do it. Okay.
What if you're just hiring bodyguards? Because people keep trying to sneak in and expose you to light.
How many bodyguards do you need?
Apparently more.
In that case, sure. Go ahead and hire a bunch of bodyguards.
It doesn't look like Vlad has enough.
You know what happens with bodyguards? They stay near your body. And none of the bodyguards here are near the body of the vampire. They're doing a really crappy job. I feel like either they got really terrible job guidelines. Like, yeah, there's a big difference between the job description and what they're actually doing here. At the same time, like, I feel like I'd be okay wandering around a giant mansion with a spear. That'd be fun.
I mean, with all the spooky hands popping out of the floor trying to grab my ankles, I don't.
You learn how to jump.
I have to use the spear on my coworkers, though.
Are the hands hired? Are they hired hands, or are they?
I hope the hands are getting paid. I hope this is a union job.
I thought they were disembodied. Like, I don't know.
Just because they're disembodied doesn't mean that you can't pay them. Hands are people too.
No, they're parts of people. They are definitely not people. Even Adam's family thing, that's not a person, it's a hand.
I can't believe you're just so body partist against hands.
And I just don't. I don't see it. It doesn't make sense to me.
I mean, they can't see you either because they don't have eyes because they're hands.
And they don't have brains.
And they could have a brain.
Well, apparently not enough of a brain to ask for a pay raise.
like an octopus brain is like distributed throughout the entire body, right? So maybe it works like that.
Are you an octopus?
God, I hope not. But nobody would suspect a thing if I were.
I really. What if we just like? It's probably not ethical, but why not just like keep finding the smartest octopuses and have them have babies, and then we just make really, really smart animals?
I mean, why?
'Cause science. And because don't you want to have an octopus you can talk to?
I mean, intelligence and vocal cords are very different things.
They could write. They've got tentacles.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, or you can do sign language. You can do sign language with an octopus.
I know like nothing about how we've taught gorillas how to sign. Like absolutely nothing about how that works. I don't know. Language and how it intersects with neuroscience is fascinating. Just fascinating enough for me to be very comfortable. I shouldn't be very confident. I shouldn't be like randomly making up stuff about it.
Yeah,
but I could make up stuff.
But you could, yeah. It's like, okay. It's probably good that I grew up like this late in modern technology, because I would have definitely been a mad scientist. I gotta be honest. That would have been so fun. Like, just imagine, I don't have the internet, I don't have TV. Heck, newspapers barely even exist. What do you do? What do you do at that point? You go and you do some science.
I mean, there's just no other option.
That's what I do!
Slush, do you read Girl Genius?
What? No. What is it?
It is a webcomic about basically this: if mad scientists ruled the world. It is so good.
I mean, That sounds fun. Maybe I'll have to check it out.
It's a comic about fancy hats, says Tristan. Also correct. Yeah, no, it is a really good webcomic.
I do appreciate that chats like Mad Scientists were the ones that were licking random things. That's me! Okay. If I have something, it's probably gonna, at some point, end up in my mouth, just because I have a natural habit, like, of doing things with my hands anyway, and sometimes just like, if I have a pen and I'm writing with it, it's gonna be in my mouth at some point. There's no way for me to avoid that. Avoiding actually having it break and get ink in my mouth, that's more important. I've had that happen.
Yeah.
Ink does not taste great.
No, it doesn't. But what if you coated it with that substance that they use on Switch cards?
That's really not, like, the worst flavor. Like, it's bad, but, like, sometimes a little bit of stimulation, even if it's not an enjoyable flavor, it's still often better than nothing, and I would just inevitably, like, if I were bored and all I had was a Switch cart and no Switch, I would probably end up licking it. I gotta be honest.
Yeah, meanwhile, J-Hit is going in circles, so he knows by this point that he's not supposed to go in that open door that he just passed.
J-Hit is definitely having the true experience.
I think you're supposed to just damage boost through those spikes to the left of the Switch. But yeah, J-Hit is not trying that. Better have to make it all the way out here very quickly before the Switch. Well, maybe not, because there's a wall there in the way, so maybe it's not jump across the pit of spikes. I don't know then.
I don't know.
Yeah, no idea what J-Hits is supposed to do.
But yeah, I'm glad that we live in a world where, like, most of the easy science is fairly straightforward. Like, hey, washing your hands is a good way to not get sick. That's good. Like, imagine if I were back then, like, trying to figure out a way to stop diseases from spreading. What would I do? I don't even know. Might burn a lot of things. I imagine there would be a lot of fire.
There's fire, there's putting locusts on people, or not locusts, excuse me, leeches. Putting leeches on people, that stops being sick, right?
I mean,
just suck the blood out.
Technically, in certain situations, that can help, but it's definitely not, like, a quote-unquote guaranteed remedy, you know?
Not usually the best choice, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, put your head up there! Bam! Homer is back, baby!
Through.
I've never seen this level, and I've never seen anybody beat this level. Let's just say J-Hit is doing as well as I would expect anybody to do, even the top players. And then there's Captain Drake, who is walking around in bathrooms. I
am just appalled by this behavior.
Like,
search, you can't just search for people in the bathroom. It's sanctuary. You can't search for people in churches, and you can't search for people in bathrooms.
This might be the one that's... this might be the Soylent Green parody, but I'm not completely sure about that. Let me check. What does Game FAQs say this level is called? Nightmare Cafeteria. Yeah! All of your friends are being eaten. So, yeah, it's definitely based off of that episode. The Shinning was a really good episode for Night of the Living Treehouse of Horror. Sorry, that's really hard to say.
That's why I had to, like, look at the title before I said at the very beginning of this match, right? It's you gotta make sure you get it right.
Chat, people are not sushi. Don't you dare say I ate it. Okay? That is a phrase exclusive.
I ate it was on a chalkboard in this game.
Oh, okay. I thought that they were, like, trying to be like, I'm going to die if I don't eat sushi.
Why?
So that he'll die. You free him to be the target.
But he's already a target if he's in jail.
He's more of a target if he's not in jail. Like, who are you gonna bring? Somebody who's stronger and faster than you? No, they're gonna break your leg. And then you get eaten. That's dumb. Take the weak.
Interesting idea.
It is the correct idea for survival. Like,
but what if I just like save someone who's like you save the bullies and then the bullies beat up Principal Skinner and then you're fine.
okay, that's pretty reasonable, but what if they beat you up?
I'm not trying to eat them. I feel like we're on the same side here.
I feel like bullies, at least in the Simpsons universe, are so dumb that they wouldn't care that somebody's trying to eat them. They'd be like, haha, loser.
In some episodes, they're dumb, but in some episodes, they're running a private business.
Come on, you useless fool. Yeah, I mean, that's true. Honestly, like, I would say that if I were in a movie, I would absolutely be abandoning friends. I would be bringing along the weak so that they die. But in reality, I'm very much like, when it comes to a real situation, I will form alliances and I will live and die by the alliance. I will be absolutely faithful to a real-life alliance. And if you have my word, then I am going to do everything I can to survive. Why? Because I need people on my side. I'm not just gonna abandon anybody, okay? If somebody is gonna get eaten by the school staff, then you know what? We all survive, or I will take the first fall. It's fine. I will be your leader.
You're never gonna see it coming then when it turns out that I'm Hitler. In this game of Secret Hitler.
Well, okay, that's a game. You remember that I differentiated between game and real life, right?
No, I thought they were the same thing.
Wow, stupid Doewolf again. Oh my gosh,
wow.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Doewolf.
I can't believe you called me stupid again.
I'm sorry I'm so spicy today. I'm just...
It's all that it's the spicy yakisoba. It just does things to people.
It was. My mouth's a little bit toasty. Like, not uncomfortably toasty, but still I can feel the heat.
Ah, that's a good feeling.
Nah, Doewolf, like, here's the deal. Whenever I play secret role games, I'm usually the first person to die. At least the first round. That's just how it goes. Everybody wants to execute me. Until people realize how I play games, and then they start being like, oh, he's just being himself.
I remember playing a game of Avalon with you, and I was on the evil team, and I was like, we were trying to figure out who Merlin is at the end, as you do, and I was like, it couldn't have been Brosentia, because Brosentia just immediately named 3 people, and they turned out to be all town and won them and got them to clear the mission. There's no way Merlin would have just straight up named 3 towns, not themselves. And just at that early stage, no way that would have happened, and I was wrong.
Yeah, that's because I start metagaming before you even know there's a metagame. Yeah,
It's a very effective strategy. The one time.
Yeah, but
once.
I also, like, really try to vary up the way that I play, especially, like, the more people know me, because I like to have that level of unpredictability, and I like to be able to do things in a way when I'm a normal townsperson, so that if I do have a special role, I can do the special role without people being too suspicious of me. Because they're like, that's just how he plays. Because that is just how I play.
Yeah, that is a pretty good strategy. Yep.
Yep. But again, usually a better strategy, the more that we play together. Yeah, if I go to AGDQ, there's a real possibility, because there's the awful block usually at AGDQ. If so, I want to play more board games and stuff with people, because I've been doing that a few times at cons that I've gone to, and it's just been a heck of a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's basically where I hung out at SGDQ, but I'm not terribly hopeful right now that there's going to be an in-person AGDQ. We will see.
Yeah, is that not really announced or figured out yet?
Well, they didn't announce the location at the end of SGDQ.
Okay. Well, if there's
So,
not, then
They didn't. No, they didn't do it in 2022, and then there just wasn't an in person, so that does not speak well.
yeah.
being
I
one.
mean, this year, biggest reason there wasn't one was because it's Florida.
Yep.
Yep. I don't
And
know.
things have gotten much worse in Florida since then.
Yeah, slightly. But
No, it's much worse.
yeah, I'm just really hoping. Okay,
Yeah, I
there's
was talking to
something
a friend
called
there.
understatement that I'm using.
Oh, okay. Fair. Okay. Yeah, no, I was just talking to a friend at SGDQ, and she was just told me, yeah, they passed the law in May, and by the end of May, she'd moved to Minnesota, and just wow.
That's pretty impressive to drive people away that quickly. Good job, Florida.
I suppose impressive is a word for it. Would not have been my word.
I
But it is
mean,
a word for it.
well, I have another word for you. Why is it playing Rygar music again? Time! That's time!
Why is your word Rygar music?
No, I'm sorry that my word is Rygar music. Oh my gosh, J-Hit. I feel like this is a very appropriate picture here. I'm not sure how, but it's pretty good.
I don't think he's happy about this game.
I'm gonna invite them to come and chat real quick because it looks like Captain Drake took the victory. J-Hit honestly did as well as I expect anybody to do. It's just that Captain Drake is nuts. Yeah, how do you think that they did today?
I mean, I did not expect either of them to get anywhere near as far as they both did. And J-Hit made a main process and just could not get through this little switch puzzle where you have to flip a switch and then go to the next room a couple times in a row, it looks like.
Yeah, so Captain Drake is going to join the stream chat. Go ahead and watch and enjoy the clown gift that J-Hit put up. Hello there, J-Hit.
Hey.
Hey, I'm going to go ahead and say that you made about as much progress as anybody has made in past Kusog7andes in this game. You did a fantastic job, but you went against Captain Drake. And Captain Drake made it 2 more levels into the game, which blows my mind. I have not seen the level after the castle that you're in, and he beat that level and made it to the school? Like, I don't know. Captain Drake, I don't know. How do you do it?
Well, that's the Captain Drake proxy.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, go ahead. Speak for Captain Drake. Go ahead and channel his inner monologue.
Captain Drake he's just a gamer.
He's a gamer. Yeah.
He's a gamer.
J-Hit, like, seriously, you did so good with this. I want to hear your thoughts. Like, what did you think about the game?
You know, before I got to the Homer stage, I was gonna come in here and be like, why isn't this indebatably bad? And then the Homer stage happened.
Wait, you didn't think it was that bad?
I didn't think it was that bad until the Homer stage, really.
Wow.
For a Game Boy Color game, it's not the greatest, but it's also not terrible.
Like, I would agree. There are much hotter messes on Game Boy Color, looking at YouTube, and this, like, it actually resembles different episodes that people are going to know. Maybe a lot of them are a little bit too mazy here. Sometimes the platforming is a bit odd, but at the same time, the sprite work is really good. It's better than any of the Nintendo Simpsons games, like, by far.
Oh, by far better than any of the NES ones.
Yeah, I think that this is flawed, but at the same time, kind of fun. And as a Simpsons fan, I think I would have enjoyed this when I was younger. Yeah, J-Hit, though, you're on the Homer stage, and you're like, this is a nightmare. You're like, I understand why this is Kusog7ande. What's, like, the worst part of this stage?
It's just a big maze, and like the switch timings on this part that I'm on right now is really, really tight.
Yeah.
And the game does not allow you to really make any mistakes on this timing part.
Yeah, you really have to play well and like move as quickly as possible. And while I'd say that there's a little bit of an advantage in not being able to run. That way you don't have to have super precise movement. But at the same time, if you just have to go as quickly as possible from one location to the next, you got to have it routed out. You got to make sure that you don't make any mistakes in platforming or even do extra jumps, because I believe you stop just a tiny bit when you land after a jump. So, like, any unnecessary additional movements could make you miss the cycle that you need. Yeah, you're right that it's incredibly tight. Also, the level's just kind of confusing, and the music's, I don't know. I don't love that stage.
That's a good word for the music.
Yeah.
Was there a stage that you liked, though?
Honestly, the Marge shmup stage before this one was actually pretty fun for being like a weird little Game Boy Color thing.
Yeah, I love it. Wolf thought that level was pretty hard. But at the same time, it's nice to have a bit of a change in pace, and it's like, I'd say that the biggest problem is that the sprites are too big. This is Game Boy Color. This is a problem that the Game Boy Color often has. So it's a little bit hard to actually see enemies coming when they start shooting at you. Like, that's a little bit of a fault, but at the same time, I can sort of overlook it because it is a nice change of pace that actually is kind of playable. Yeah. I very much enjoy it. So, to clarify for people who are wondering in chat, we did have our victor, Captain Drake, and I have told people never feel upset losing to Captain Drake. Captain Drake is just, I don't know, a wizard? A Kuso wizard?
I think he's a captain.
He's a captain.
Like, I mean, well,
don't
Drake's
go
like
up
an
against the captain,
right?
Are you a real captain, Captain Drake? Actually, is anybody here? Are you a Captain J-Hit?
I am not a captain.
Dang.
Was he a pirate? I don't think so.
Captain
Maybe.
Pirate? Ooh. A Crapton. Okay, I like that. That's even better. Yeah. So, J-Hit, I'm trying to remember, how many Kusog7andes have you played in before?
This is the second Kuso that I've done.
And you made it all the way into this far into the bracket. That's actually very impressive.
Yeah, I'm happy with getting this far.
Yeah, I'd say that, like, making it to round 5 of the losers bracket, that really just shows that you have done very, very well. And I think that you passed how you did last year. It's just really cool to see how you've been doing. And we do give people up to $30 of Steam games, so go ahead and hit me up. I can send you gift cards for that. Also, we do give out a movie, although Neil Breen's movie hasn't come out yet, and I'm just trying to get an idea of when it will, because if it doesn't, I'll just probably have to give a different movie out to everybody else. Or just let them know as soon as it's released, I'll go ahead and spend the hundreds of dollars buying this freaking movie that you just print out on random DVDs laying around your house, Neil Breen.
I'm sure Neil Breen would appreciate that.
I love giving him money. I love his media. It's not good, and I love it.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah, I fully love to support somebody who just has that level of creativity on his own and, doesn't really know how to make it good, but he makes it fun, and that's what I love. So, yeah, J-Hit, anything that people should know that you're streaming these days?
I think the next couple days, well, starting Monday, I'm just going to mess around and do some, maybe some Armored Core stuff, since Armored Core 6 has been getting some coverage, and I'm really excited for it now.
Same.
And then Final Fantasy 16 on Thursday.
Oh, that's right. I don't have a PS5. I can't do that. I want to play it. Can I come over to your house?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Hey, Wolf, guess what I'm playing?
I'm kind of jealous. I'm just stuck here waiting for the PC release.
Yeah.
In 500 years.
Yeah. I'll probably just have to wait. I don't have the money for a PS5. Because our grand prize is $500 here at Kusog7ande. I gotta buy that. By $500, right? That's how it works. But yeah, hit me up later for some Steam games. I'll go ahead and get those over to you. Other than that, J-Hit, do you have any final words for your tombstone?
I think for my tombstone, in honor of getting RoboCop in my first Kusog7ande, I'm gonna go with "Thank you for your cooperation. Good night."
I love it,
Nice.
J-Hit. I love it. Well, everybody, that is it for Kusog7ande today, and guess what? The match tomorrow is being delayed, and I believe it's being delayed by a week, and unfortunately, what I'm seeing is it's literally the only match that can happen until we actually have it happen, so I'm just hoping we can have it soon. Fingers crossed. I'll go ahead and let people know on Twitter and Discord when we have that. I'll try to stream tomorrow as well, and I'll let people know on Twitter and Discord if it's here or if it's over on YouTube. I enjoyed the stream yesterday. That was really enjoyable to just play a game over there. Other than that, I think we need to go and raid somebody and call it a Kuso night. So let me see. Do I have a raid here? Wolf, actually, as I'm looking for somebody, do you have anything that you're streaming these days? I know that you're playing Snolfmania.
I've been streaming Snolfmania. Yeah, that's what I streamed last night. I'll probably be streaming that later today. I don't know. I wasn't planning on like streaming immediately now. But
yeah, you don't have to stream that immediately, but if you're streaming later, that's good to know. I'm so glad that there's now a mod for Sonic Mania. Is it the Steam version that the mod is out for?
it is out for any version
Ooh,
of the game.
That's
You just
really
have to pluck
nice.
a file out of your install and put it into a special folder.
Cool. Well, with RPG Limit Break coming up, let's go ahead and raid them. They're currently playing for Job Fiesta, and that's always a bunch of fun. It looks like Dragon Dark is running that right now. So let's go raid over there. Do we have a good raid message from anything? I mean, energize, yeah.
Okay, yeah, let's energize. Excellent.
Yeah. All right, take care, friends. I will see you hopefully tomorrow with more streams. Take care, J-Head.
Take care.
See ya, the Wolf.
Bye.
Bye.